Good morning, Patriots Nation. Good morning. Good morning. Victory Monday. So that's nice to get the first win of the year out of the way against the Jets. 15 in a row now against this Jets team. 15 in a row. I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all real quick, get some thoughts out on this game. So how we feeling, y'all? Victory Monday. Nice, Kobe. So it feels good to get the first one out of the way, guys. Let's just get that one. Let's get that down first. First win of the year, 1-2 on the season, and there were a couple of positives to take out of this game, but there were also a lot of negatives as well. Exactly, Colby. Ugly win, but a win is a win. Whether you win by an inch or a mile, as long as you could put a W up on some afternoons or some nights, that's all that matters. But the Patriots get the win. Matthew Judon at the end securing the W with a nice uh, sack and safety. So that was nice to see the Patriots D finally come through and deliver. I'd be willing to say that this defense is probably going to end up top 12, top 10, somewhere in that range, which isn't bad considering all the amount of work that they have to do because the offense is kind of floundering. That's another thing that I want to talk about real quick. What's up, Anthony? That's another thing I want to talk about real quick, guys. We got this win, but it was not pretty. It was not pretty. 15 points against the Jets. I mean, regardless of their defense, that's not good enough. I mean, 15 points against a lowly Jets team. That's I don't know. We're lucky to have the defense we do because any other uh, any other way you slice it, that the any other quarterback put in that situation could have easily beat the Patriots. Nice, Anthony. I am on my way to work as well. I am on my way to work as well. But yeah, any other way you slice this, you put even a halfway decent quarterback in that spot, and the Patriots probably are 0-3. Zach Wilson is a terrible, terrible quarterback. He is he is barely an NFL player, barely. If that was Aaron Rodgers, the Jets win that game yesterday easily, going away too. Aaron Rodgers doesn't fix all the problems the Jets have, but at least he'd be able to put points on the board. So let's talk. This was clearly, let's talk a little bit, guys. Let's kind of get right into this. This game was clearly a game of two halves. The first half, Mac Jones in the offense actually looked pretty good. He made a lot of nice throw, difficult throws and threading the needle a few times, spreading the ball around to different receivers, calling out protection at the line of scrimmage. Mac looked pretty good in the first half. He he did. He looked pretty good. The offense stalled out a little bit, a couple of times, but they overall, I think they looked pretty good in the first half. The second half came around, and not so much. Mac started to flounder again and to struggle. I still think this offense is really really struggling to find its footing though. Like I said, 15 points against the Jets. Come on. They should have won this game by 21 points. They should have won this game by 21 points. The Jets are a bad football team, and Zach Wilson is a bad quarterback. This game should not have even been close. This game should not have even been close, and the Jets pretty much stayed in it the entirety of the game. This this offense has got to find its footing. This offense has got to find its footing. This part of the schedule coming up is not going to be very friendly to them. They need to find a rhythm and find it quick. The defense did. I will say this though: every week this defense does pretty much show up. Every week they have showed up so far. And I mean, judging from what Miami did yesterday, they held that team to what, 20, 24 points, I think. So that's not looking like a bad feat right there, considering what Miami's offense has done these last couple of weeks. It's like I said, this defense is probably going to be a top 10, top 12 D. I don't know. My concerns are purely on the offensive side of the football. The offensive line is still a massive problem. The offensive line is still a massive issue with this team. They're when they start facing real competition, it could get really ugly. It could get pretty ugly. Trent Brown does not look good. Trent Brown does not look good. But when you say that, when you have to say that Trent is your probably one of your best, when you have to say Trent Brown is one of your best offensive linemen, that's a problem. That's a problem because he's on the back end of his career. David Andrews can only do so much up front as a center. When he can call out the right protections and the right blocking scheme all he wants, but if it's not going to be executed by the rest of the offensive line, what's the point? What's the point? And then again, just back to back penalties, 2 or 3 in a row on important drives in the second half, just absolutely stalled out their momentum. I don't know. Did they just this is just an the second half of this team was just very, very undisciplined and very unpatriot like. The whole season has been unpatriot like for the offense. Just not being able to execute, not being able to find a rhythm. You got Mac, overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys. There's communication issues on how to run routes. It's I don't know. This is week 3, and we're still seeing the same stuff we saw in week 1. There's still the same kind of confusion issues and just lack of discipline, lack of execution. And if we're still going through that in week 6 or 7, that's going to be a problem. But I don't know, guys. I just wanted to I want to get you guys' thoughts. So let me know in the comments what y'all think. But my opening statement. That's what I would have to say about that. Like, there were positives to take out of this, which was nice to see. But once again, more negatives than anything. More negatives than anything. But I will give Mac Jones credit where credit is due. There were a lot of nice, well-timed routes run and caught and thrown by Jones. There was the offense as a whole looked like it was in rhythm for a couple of those drives in the first half. And I just don't get it, guys. I don't get, like, we see like little flashes of what this offense could realistically look like when it gets in a rhythm and when it gets rolling and when Mac is, calm, cool, and collected under center, and when he is confident, we get these flashes of greatness and flashes of what it could look like. But it's just the consistency of execution, the ability to do to the ability to execute an offense and keep that rhythm for more than, I don't know, 5 plays, 6 plays, has been a struggle this year. And I mean, we're not, this NFL season is rolling on. You it feels to me like they are, like Mac and Billy O'Brien are just kind of running this thing on the fly, and learning on the fly, and that's never a good thing. When you're not when you're kind of doing stuff by the fucking seat of your pants and on the fly, that's not usually good. That usually doesn't have good end results. But they do, though. It's once again, it's a good drive followed up by a bad drive, a good drive followed up by a bad drive. And the inconsistencies of the offense, it hurts the whole team. It does. It hurts the whole team because the defense doesn't get to rest, and you're already leaning on your D a lot this year because you have a new offensive coordinator and you're still trying to, clearly still trying to figure things out, and you're leaning on your defense heavy. They can look gassed by the third quarter, and it's just the offense needs to help the defense out. The offense needs to help the defense out by staying on the field and giving them a chance to catch their breath. Constantly putting this Patriot D back out onto the field after, I don't know, 6 plays, 7, 8 plays. That's no time to rest. That's maybe 5, 10 minutes at the most. It's a double-edged sword. When the offense doesn't play well, the defense on this team usually doesn't play well either, because they're asked to pick up that slack, and they run out of steam about midway through the third quarter. And that's what happens with a lot of that's what has happened in the Pats' 2 losses, is the defense just falls out from underneath them. The Patriots did a phenomenal job today on the run, though, on the run defense. Well, I should say, both running the football on the offensive side and defending the run as well. It was very clear what their game plan was going into this game. Very, very clear. They were they were gonna make they were gonna make Zach Wilson beat them through the air. The run defense. All right, we back. We back. Let me know if y'all could still hear me. Give me a thumbs up if the audio is still good. I just had it interrupted there for a second. But the game plan today was very clear from the Pats. They were going to make Zach Wilson beat them through the air. They were not going to have any anything to do with letting the Jets try to run the football. They sold out on stopping that, and for the most part, did a pretty good job of it. Bill knows this team well, and he knows how to play them and how to use their weaknesses against them better than probably any other team. But good morning, Pats Nation. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying their morning, Monday morning here. But yeah, clearly Bill's game plan was to make Zach Wilson have to beat him through the air. Again, just a shout out to the defense. A couple of guys, Matt Judon with 2 sacks and a safety on the day, and Christian Gonzalez again locking down the Jets' #1 option, Wilson. This is the 3rd week in a row that this young kid has had a very, very good game. Clearly, Bill hit on that pick for sure. The Gonzalez pick is turning out to be a very, very good one. I like how he plays too. I like how good Christian Gonzalez plays. Physical, up in the receiver's face. It's good to have a corner. Finally, have a corner that we can actually trust when we put him on some of these more top tier receivers in the league. The kid has performed real well. One of the concerns, though, for me is the defensive line. The D line, although they did manage to kind of clog up the middle of the field and stop the run really well. They haven't been able to get much pressure on any of these quarterbacks to start the league, which is a problem, because we're going to need their help against some of the upper echelon teams we're going to play. We're gonna need that. So that's definitely been a concern. Hopefully that gets better as we get into the season. But we haven't really heard much from Christian Barmore, Lawrence Guy, Gotcha, any of those guys up front. We haven't heard too much out of them, so that's a little concerning. And then obviously we can go back to the offensive side of the football. The Patriots offensive line clearly struggling. Clearly. We have got to get guys healthy, man. Cole Strange still very obviously playing or trying to play through an injury. We have got to get him healthy too. Owenu, again, injured. Trent Brown fighting through stuff. The only one that seems to be healthy is David Andrews. And like I said before, if you don't have any help up front, you could, the center is the quarterback of the offensive line. He's the one that him and the quarterback worked in tandem to call out the protection. And you can make the best call you can for the protection up front, but if you don't got any help, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. We have got to start getting some of our guys on the offensive line back and healthy. Another positive, if we want to look at that again, we go back to a positive from this game. Zeke Elliott looked pretty good. I believe he had 88 yards on, I want to say, 12 carries. So good to see him running have a little bit left in the tank to run hard and help the team out. That's good to see. I don't know. From what I saw, they were kind of rotating him and Ramondre in and out, which is nice to see. That'll keep Ramondre's legs fresh for the season. So I do like that. I want to see when this offensive line is fully healthy. I want to see what this run game what the real potential of this run game could be, because I have high hopes for that. With the ability, with Zeke looking like he's still got something left in the tank, and Ramondre, obviously, we know he's got the youth on his side, and another hard nosed runner. So we should look forward to that. When this offensive line gets healthy, I think our run game is going to be just fine. I think our run game is going to be just fine. But I just wanted to come on here, guys, and give you my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of how this game went. Um, like I said, there were a couple of positives, again, but mostly negative to take from this, which is unfortunate because we're in week 3 and we're still talking. We're still talking about basic execution stuff with the Patriots, which is very unpatriot-like. I think the last 2 seasons for us have been very unpatriot-like. No doubt, Raj. No doubt. That's a fact. 100%. Yes, he does. But at least we got to see some glimpses of how this offense could look once it gets fully operational. But I said that last week too, guys. I said that last week too, and we didn't really, it sputtered and had the same kind of result. So I'm still looking for the consistency from them. I'm still looking for the consistency from the Pats on the offensive side of the football. Because once the offense gets going, and they kind of have found their identity. Because right now, I still don't think the offense has an identity. Still don't. I still think they're just kind of figuring it out as they go. But I'm hoping by like week 6, they'll you know they'll be they'll have a better idea of who does what best and how to execute it. But I said at the beginning of the year that I was going to give Mac Jones, Billy O'Brien, and the offense until week 6 to see how it looks. So right now we're halfway there, and there's still a lot of inconsistencies, and there's still a lot to be desired. But a win is a win in the NFL. Any given Sunday, any team can beat anybody. You never know. But getting the first one's always a good feeling. Like I said, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How you feel about this game? How do you feel about Mac? How do you think how do you think the offense did? How do you think the defense did? But let me know how you guys are feeling. I have a lot of mixed thoughts, and just hoping that they can straighten it out and but those once again though, guys, once again, those are my thoughts on the game. I just wanna I just wanted to kind of get that out and talk to y'all for a little bit here. And to sum everything up, we just got to get more consistent. And we got to stop shooting ourselves in the damn foot. It's a shame to see this team be like this. just the lack of execution and the lack of fundamentally sound football is frustrating. Because if all we need to do is just clean this up a little bit. I mean, not much. We just like the back-to-back penalties on drives, pushing the offense back to like first or second and 20 and 25. Like, we can't do that. Can't be doing that. This team can't afford to shoot themselves in the foot anymore. They don't have the talent to. I reiterate this and say this at every kind of post game I have. We don't have the talent to go down 14 points and fight back. We can't do that. But 17, 14, 10, like we can't go down 2 scores and fight our way back. This team just doesn't have we don't have the offensive firepower to do it. We just don't. But those are my thoughts, guys. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how you guys feel about this game. And I will talk to y'all again later. Everybody have a good Monday, and I will see you on the next one.